because the white people think it's your topic. So yeah. Okay, cool. Oh my god, We're here, guys. It's What's Up with the Minutes, the best podcast that's ever been recorded in the history of podcasts. I am here. My name is Kosey. I'm here with Mega and Trey. Oh my goodness, guys, how are we doing?
Wonderful.
This is fantastic.
I'm glad to hear. I like how we're actually coming to this for the second time because I didn't hit record.
No.
We had a wonderful 10-minute conversation and intro earlier, but you know how it is. Yeah, we really nicked shit.
No, we time skipping. That was it. It was just like we erased the last 10 minutes. We just did that for fun. Yeah. You guys don't get to see that, but we know.
Yeah.
Trey,
but we're the three topic guys.
Yeah.
Three 10-minute topics.
Three Negroes.
Three Negroes. We're every time we record, we'll each pick a topic and have a 10 to 15-minute discussion about it, ranging anything within hip hop or culture or things of that nature. So today, our three topics, we're on the fly mixing it up because we just talked about JID and how how God does love ugly. Is that what it's called?
It's the worst. Yeah,
maybe we'll get to that another day. Terrible work.
Yeah, that's it basically. You don't need to know anything else you said. We just said the album sucks and it's bad. Anyways, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, this is hosted on Secret House. I'm Mega Des, old school b-boy, old head, 42-year-old hip hop human being living in Tokyo, doing a lot of hip hop things out here. Read the blueprint.
What's up? I'm Trey, the greatest niche micro celebrity of all time. I talk shit on Twitter occasionally. I make music under the name TreDoes. And I just, like talking shit.
So true. Talking shit is indeed one of the strong suits. And I'm Kosey. I do the rap thing as well. I also produce. Oh my goodness, how does she do both? She's crazy. I'm a UK-based artist who apparently now hosts podcasts. You know how it is. We out here. Follow me on twitter.com. Anyways. All right. So do we want to hop into our first topic or do you got
let's do that.
Yeah. So as mentioned before, because Mega evilly and out of the hatred in his heart deleted my entire topic out of existence, I've stolen his. So we're talking about Earl Sweatshirt's new album, Live, Laugh, Love. How are you guys feeling about it?
I'm loving it. I have not felt this strongly about an Earl album. And honestly, it might be since I discovered him when I was fucking 15 or some shit. But this feels like it reinforced everything I love about Earl from a production and lyrical perspective. So I'm enjoying it.
I'm a huge fan of Earl. I've been listening to him since it was early Odd Future, Free Earl joints, but I really began to respect and enjoy his music a lot more around some rap songs. And since then, and the kind of poetic and artistic direction he's leaned into, I like to place him directly in the Black radical tradition. And his last few albums, Voir Dire and Sick. I wasn't the hugest fan of those, even though it had some incredible songs on them. This one is him back to form. It kind of feels like a lot of the direction he's been going since some rap songs has kind of been fully realized with the production, the total sonic qualities, as well as his rapping. And I'm probably having some recency bias, but this shot up to, one of my favorite albums of the year. I've had it on repeat over and over and over again. Songs just... I'll play a song and be like, wow, that's incredible. And then next thing I know, I've been looping it for 45 minutes. So I love this Earl joint. I love the cover. I don't love the album title, but be that as it may, it's still amazing.
Oh, we got to talk about that.
The title's awesome.
But that's also like how it is, Trey, in America and whatnot. We got like Michaels, we got like Coles, and this is the shit that white women buy after the divorce and hang up on the wall in the living room and shit. Like they got the little wooden joints, and I know that's probably a play on it or whatever, but I don't love the title.
We got the same thing here, but for me, like I've been just recognizing, and this is something I said before, Live, Laugh, Love is not bad advice, dude. It's like it is needed. It is needed. So when I see it, and when I kind of think about the direction O's art has gone in through over the years, like live, love, love. While he might not have said that, there's hints of that throughout all of his little rap things over the years, you know. Especially like on the like happier moments of sick, like not sick of some rap songs like that one crazy interlude on there with his mum and dad on it, like that there. That's serious, you know what I mean? That live, love, love energy has been throughout his career. Just maybe the corny elements of the
it's like the most powerful Karen white woman bumper sticker platitude out. And I understand that it's dope. Live, laugh, love makes perfect sense, but I won't harp on it too much, but you know what I mean? It's an amazing album.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, I've been the kind of thing you're saying of, oh, you put on a song and you realize you've been looping it for ages. For me, it's been like, I'll put on one of the songs and I'll kind of just keep listening. And then I end up getting back to that song again because the whole album, the way it flows is just perfect. Like there's such a kinetic quality to it. Like there's no like dead air. You know what I mean? When Earl finishes rapping, the beat will go for like maybe 2 more bars and then it's done. And then next song, and then next song, and it doesn't give a moment for you to get disinterested with it. You know what I mean?
It's only 24 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't overstay its welcome at all.
Yeah.
And it makes such a strong statement in that small amount of time as well. Yeah. There's definitely like strong moments still, regardless of the short runtime it has. Like favorites for me being like Forge. Is that Forge? Yeah. I didn't know Theravada had, like, I'll be real. I've been listening to a lot of Theravada for a while. Like, I like him. He's good. Yeah. I was not familiar with this game. I wasn't. I'll put my hands up and say that. There are beats on here that I'm listening to and I'm like, what the hell is he even doing? Like, I can't even get into it in some places. Like Forge, when I listened to the album the second time, I did exactly what you said. I listened to Forge for like 40 minutes. Outrageous song. Outrageous. Like, that beat is.
It took me a whole minute to get through the album because once I got to Live, or Live rather, once I got to Live, I just put it on repeat and played it for the rest of the evening because that beat switch is incredible. Yeah, who is that? Black Noise that produced that one? Yeah, that shit is crazy. Yeah,
Black Noise. Earl is my favorite ones on the Sick joint as well.
Earl is so like poetically inclined, and also just his cadences are incredibly catchy on it. It's his flows are bouncing. He's using a lot of different approaches, and it's some really incredible writing from him. Yeah, some really incredible writing. My favorites are Well Done, Live, and Tourmaline.
Word. Trey, what you saying?
Yeah. I've been trying to think about why this Earl album stands out despite how active he's been over the years. And I feel like this project gets back to like the clarity that I associate with his writing. I feel like his vision has gotten like muddier and muddier over the years. But like this one, he feels extremely salient. He feels like he's speaking like directly to you. I love how the album starts like real casual. I like that. And I didn't know how I feel about the runtime because on first listen, I didn't take much from it. It kind of I took away the beats, but it just went by way too fast for my liking. But like the more I dive into like each track, and like we got like tracks like Infatuation that's like a minute and a half, and like that's all he needs to say some shit for real. And I'll just sit there and loop that track because there's so much in these like fucking 2 minute and a half tracks that it justifies its runtime, and you want to just like run it back. So I really appreciate that about the project.
Yeah, a lot of it is not even like the deepest and the most substantial kind of through line with the concepts or anything, but he'll have bars here or there that just resonate for me on a kind of like a deep level that I'm just like, that's the blackest shit I've ever heard. That's the hardest shit I've ever heard. And I think that's kind of where I've situated Earl in his art. I know a lot of it has to do with like more of the meta shit, like who his mother is, who his father is, kind of his trajectory as an artist and where he sits within the pop cultural space. Like, you know, I was watching a JID kind of short or whatever, and he was talking about his favorite MCs, and he was like, Earl. It was on his top 5, and I was like, okay, bet, you know, because that's incredible because Earl's we talked about the JID album, like sonically and what they're both doing. They're both great at rapping, and they're both obviously, you know, super connected to American Black culture like that. But these are way two different albums, and to hear somebody like even Jid say that this, you know, the Earl is putting it down, it kind of it makes me feel like there's kind of hope for more of the mainstream guys to get a little bit weird with it and say fuck it. Like I'm gonna stop trying to chase the, you know, the breakout song, the song of the summer, and just put down some strange art, because that's Earl. That's the I think that's probably the biggest difference between him and Tyler. Even though Tyler keeps it weird, like Tyler is consistently trying to like make music that is accessible to people that still capture his element, whereas Earl's just trying to capture his element and make music that feels like him. And so this one just fucking works.
Yeah, and it's interesting as well because you're like, Earl has the reach that if he wanted to, he could be where Tyler is at, 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you consider the old future trajectory, or Frank and Tyler are both stratosphere levels. You know what I mean? And Earl, at any point during that old future thing, could have just been riding their coattails and gone to a very similar height.
Right.
But from immediately, like Doris, I would say kind of leans towards like that could have gone somewhere, but don't like shit. You can already hear the elements of like, I'm not trying to be seen. You know what I mean? I'm trying to just get this off of my chest. And then by some rap songs, like some rap songs is there, and then Feet of Clay comes out. No one who's trying to be the biggest megastar ever is putting East on an album. No one is doing that. No one who's trying to be the biggest megastar out ever is gonna shut up as much as he does on that album. He doesn't talk on Feet on Clay for a lot of it. He just lets Mavi and Mark Homie do their thing. You know what I mean? He's sincerely trying to be as like artistically present as possible in all of his work, and that's something that is coming to a complete head on Live Laugh Love, because there's just such a strong sense of Earl on this project. Yeah, I mean, regardless of the other, like there's obviously there's the producers on this, and he's not as in charge of production as maybe he has been in the past, although he is on the mixing. There's still such a strong sense of him at the forefront of it, while I'm still like loving the beats and that.
Yeah, I like how y'all mentioned Earl like staying true to him, but like still like superseding certain confines of like in like music. Because damn, what was my point?
No, you got it.
Damn, I completely forgot my point. Ah, shit, I'm cooked. I will say this is.
Did you just get off of work? Is that what you're doing? You got off of work.
This is technically my bedtime now, so.
Okay.
But I will say this is one of my favorites for a very specific reason. I feel like I like the energy he's rapping with on here. Like on tracks like Static and Crisco, I feel like he's rapping with like some real like grit in his voice. And that's why I like projects like I Don't Like Shit, because that's my favorite Earl project to this day. And like while he's still doing like framing things in like a poetic way and like speaking to certain concepts, he's still like he feels angry on that one, and it comes through in his writing. And this like made me like remember how good he is when he like really wants to rap. Like he's easily one of the best outside of just simply lyrics, just like flow, delivery, all that shit, barring out, all that.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about like the delivery specifically on this project is so varied. Like the way he's rapping itself, because it feels like he's kind of taken all of the different kind of flows he was doing and kind of combined them on all this on this project. Like I remember a big problem of mine with Voya Dyer, that's not how that's pronounced. It was like I wasn't really feeling his delivery, the kind of delivery, the mumbling and stuff. But he does that on Live, and I love the way he approaches that song because it's so appropriate for that the tone of the beat and the flow he's doing. And then on a song like Infatuation, he's very clearly enunciating all his words and very much a steadier rhythm. You know what I mean? And like he is jumping between these different styles depending on what the song demands from him. You know what I mean? And I think that is definitely the highlight of this album for me.
I think that, you know, with like him and Mike, they've leaned so much into this like assonance heavy kind of really crazy run flows that they both do. And Mike does get, you know, Mike is kind of very baritone and monotone at times with his approach, and Earl has that like kind of drowsy flow too, and he doesn't really lean in as heavy into the assonance runs as Mike does. But on this album, he does those assonance runs, but he does it with kind of melodic cadences at time. Like Tourmaline is like that flow is unusual. He's never really done that, and I don't think that Mike really has that flow. It's really sing-songy, but it's also very like multi-syllabic heavy, like really assonance heavy. And it's some of his, it's not like his best writing, but it's some of like something about it just really catches me in a different way than a lot of his work. And I started to feel like with him and even Mike, it started to get a little tedious. A lot of their work, the beats sound good, they're good at rapping. The beats sound good, they're good at rapping, but it's a lot of it in this same kind of pocket that they're working with. And with this album, I kind of feel like Earl steps up a little bit and kind of pulls everything together in his trajectory since the last 10 years, since I Don't Like Shit. You know, because like the things he was doing on Sick were different. They were weird. They were strange. And it was kind of all over the place. The things he did on, you know, all like Feet of Clay and East and all the joints. It's been kind of weird. But this, he kind of wraps it all together in the package. I kind of feel like this is like his vision really fucking stuck the landing on this one. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. That's I agree with a lot of that. Any last thoughts from you, Trey? Oh, he's gone. He's
fucking out.
Nah, I just had to stretch real quick.
You didn't want to show
up? He meant pick his nose and shit.
Nah, I don't think I got nothing else to say. Y'all want to do favorite tracks?
Yeah.
Say, I got Infatuation, Gamma is Hard, Static, Crisco, Tourmaline. That's a crazy run. And then fuck it, we'll have Heavy Metal to that. Child Actor. I love like the way Earl's tapped in, because he'll get someone like Child Actor, and then I get to see people like react to hearing their first Child Actor beat, so that's super dope. Besides that, it was a great project.
Meg, you want to go favorite songs?
Recently I've been stuck on Well Done, Live, Tourmaline, and also Ejectocito, the heavy metal joint, Child Actor joint. Those are my 4 favorites so far. Crisco is also amazing. Like I feel like the songs that I that aren't my favorite right now, I just haven't listened to them enough. I feel like each one of these is gonna place for me, because I even like the intro, the fucking Golden State versus Sac.
Is that what that stands for?
The flow, Golden State versus
Sacramento.
Is that what it is?
That's my England thing. I ain't got no idea what the fuck that was. I thought it was but favorite songs for me, I would say the first 3 songs, just oh my goodness, man. The way Earl comes in on the intro, like he doesn't even let the beat play for like a single bar before he's rapping. And I just love how immediately the album just slaps you. Like it just like as soon as the album starts, it just goes. Forge, the beat, as already said, unbelievable. Infatuation, that's a joint. That's one of those like joints that I've been hearing the live performance of, and I've been waiting for it to get released. And it released, and I love it. And it's just exactly what I wanted out of it. Just the whole project is kind of exactly what I wanted. But Infatuation kind of sums up the entire thing I wanted the album to be so perfectly. And with that, I think that topic is perfectly. We've done it. Woohoo with yippee. And Trey, you're next up.
All right. I'm here to make the case. I'm here to make the case that your goat is washed. Your goat, Mega, your goat specifically is washed. Who you got as your goat, Mega? Who's your goat? And are they washed?
Like, you mean like an objective goat or like my personal favorite? My goat is not washed. My goat is not washed. I've been an Aesop Rock. I even got an Aesop Rock shirt on right now. This shirt is old as you, probably. This shirt is like 22 years old and shit.
That's older than
I've been an Aesop. I've been an Aesop Rock fan since '99, and he's not washed. But Ghostface was also my favorite MC in '99 as well, and I will not be listening to Ghostface because Ghostface is unfortunately washed.
It's a tragedy, really.
So when I say washed, I was thinking about what I meant by washed, and in some cases it is musically, like as you can see I got the artist on the background. Wayne is definitely musically washed, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Other artists, I feel like they're washed in the sense that they are extremely out of touch, and in being out of touch, they're losing like the purpose behind their music. So I think this is best illustrated. I just listened to the Ghostface album, Against My Better Judgment. I was surprised in some aspects, but also like the project doesn't really do anything. And I'm thinking like the whole delivery of the project and making a sequel to Supreme Clientele, which like Supreme Clientele is like an extremely like it feels like a surreal project in terms of the rapping, in terms of the production. And I feel like so many artists are just trying to capture something old. So down to the cover of the new joint, down to like the fucking like the sound that has like is missing like all the hard hittingness of like the beats on the last project. I feel like they're not trying to repurpose something. They're trying to repurpose something. They're not trying to like make something new. So after I listened to the Ghostface album, I listened to the LL Cool J album. I'm Gen Z. I like to consider myself doing my homework, but LL Cool J is not somebody I really did homework on. So I didn't know what to expect going into this project. I mean, I know he has the fucking hits and all that, but I was pleasantly surprised. I feel like the album had a fresh direction. He was actually talking about shit, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
And I feel like I feel like some rap fans are losing the ability to discern between something that's actually substantive and something that just like has the aesthetics. So I feel like a lot of older acts are getting by on the aesthetics. Supreme Clientele 2 presents as the original.
Yeah.
And I feel like that like leads people going in with an uncritical eye and just letting rappers get away with just giving you anything.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
Well, I agree with you. It's like, you know, the substance. There's so many like directions to take this, right? Everybody, like so many people who are selling things rely on nostalgia to sell you shit. That's why we have so many reboots in Hollywood and shit like that. You know what I mean? But like when it comes to Ghostface hasn't really had anything to say for 20 years, and he hasn't been on the streets for 20 years. He's lived a lavish lifestyle for 20 years. So to rehash these things without any kind of deeper introspection of who he is as a person, even if he could find that, because I saw him on Celebrity Rehab and he's a monster. He's a terrible fucking type of dude. Like I wouldn't want to hang out with him, even though I love Ghostface, you know, even though he's a god body and all these things. It's like he doesn't seem like a very well-adjusted person that cares to learn, or you know, he's very antisocial. But when it comes to this music and shit, like we also got to realize like the audience for that, right? Because the audience for the people who are listening to Ghostface, they're people who were fans of the radio, right? They're not necessarily participatory 4-element kids. They're not 5%ers. They weren't New Yorkers. They weren't regional kids. They weren't, you know, they were people who listened to the radio and they enjoyed that music. And then when the radio stopped being a place where they could find music like Ghostface, they kind of just continued to be like, all right, whatever. So all of their old favorites are Nas. All their old favorites are, these are constantly the old heads who are talking about like rap was better in the 90s, you know, and there's a lot of things that you could say about the aesthetic qualities, but people have been doing 90s style rap for fucking 30 years now, you know, like 40 years. Like it's been a long time. These people don't know hip hop music. So it's like, oh, Ghostface has a new album. Great. Busta Rhymes has a new album. Great. Oh my God. You know, Snoop Dogg hasn't had a good album for a while, but I think Snoop Dogg is funny. Nas has a new album. Great. Like that's the fan base. And it's that, or it's guys like fucking, you know, Justin Hunt, who love hip hop, are tapped in a lot of bit, but still primarily focus on the mainstream scene. And they perceive that as the culture. Like Wayne hasn't had a good album in fucking 15 years. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, that's actually crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, but these are the guys constantly getting the attention. These are the guys constantly doing things. And I'm glad Ghostface is able to make a career off of his art. But for me, I really stopped liking Ghostface in the early 2000s. And it was because He wasn't saying nothing to me. The direction he went with his music. Supreme Clientele is a crazy abstract album. He made that shit in Africa. He came back and he was like, yo, people were saying that's too weird. And then he got Pretty Tony. He got Bulletproof Wallace and it went a different direction. I didn't care for it. So our favorite artists, it's not that they're washed. It's just that they've never changed and everything else has. Like if they're not washed, everything else has changed and they never have. They've never tried to, Eminem still sounds, his beats still sound like some weird white cookie factory fucking weird wonky shit. People like that shit. I don't fucking know what to say about it. He had never changed.
Yeah, no.
I never changed.
Sure. It's like, even like, if we're bringing up my goat is Wash, then think like Pharrell on the Clips album, like stuff like that. Like the lack of change is so clear when it comes to like, especially Pharrell's beats. There's literally 2 beats on that album that sound the exact same. Like the whole project kind of staying in the very similar sound space because Pharrell has been in a similar sound space for all this time because Pharrell hasn't needed to change because he's at the top. You know what I mean? He got his thing and he's like, okay, word. I don't really care for what the world around me is doing. I'm just gonna kind of lean into what I'm doing. And like there was the experimentation on like on the Nerd album, the No One Ever Really Dies. Like that album is quite varied. I mean, obviously it's not just Pharrell on that. So there's a lot of experimentation on that project, but that hasn't in any way transferred over to anything Pharrell's been doing since then. In a way I find quite interesting, because the Clips album, I mean, I really like the first song, and then that's it. But I know that's not a common take, but I know the common take is that Pharrell's singing sucks on that whole project though.
I never listened to it.
You didn't need to, man.
When I'm thinking, so like when it comes to things like the Clips album, I'm willing to let certain people have it because as much as I don't like Pharrell on it, I feel like Malice is doing something I can appreciate, and I feel like Push is making a conscious decision when he leaves behind like the shit that got him semi-mainstream off of Daytona, where doing the and the like his stereotypical flow. I feel like he's introducing a nice amount of change that I can appreciate. I get kind of frustrated with how it still feels like the wider hip hop dialogue is stuck and like on like a scale of Playboy Cardi dropped an album, rap is dead. Ghostface dropped an album, real rap is back. Sexy Red dropped an album, rap is dead. We got fucking Nas, rap is back. Like it feels stale and it feels like
medium albums ever and like rap sales. Yeah, I mean he'll drop the same album 6 times and we're like, oh my god, finally.
Yeah, and I feel like it happens irregardless of how the music sounds. Like Cardi's album could be like the greatest shit ever. I've been pushing the Cardi album a lot. I don't even love it that much. I just think there's a good handful of like really inspired tracks that I can appreciate. And I feel like when you're discussing things like Ghostface, we're not really getting into like the nitty gritty of what he's saying or how the music sounds. We're just kind of going off surface level and being like, yeah, it's good. It has to be good. It's doing the Supreme Clientele too. How is it not good? It's Ghostface. It has to be good.
Supreme Clientele 1 was good. So that means Supreme Clientele 2 has to be good. Yeah.
That's like only built for Cuban Links 1. Cuban Links 2. Well, I didn't listen to it, but it must have been great.
It must have been great. Exactly. Yeah, the album cover's purple, dude.
Well, you know what's interesting is like we definitely like. I think that LL is amazing. Like I think he's a goat. I think he's unassailable. Like you might think he's corny, but like his new music might not hit for you. But the man is actually amazing and pretty. He's never going to make anything that's like the worst. It's not going to be embarrassingly corny like Lil Wayne making a skate rock album or some shit. Yeah. The cats who have longevity have found ways to kind of capture some of the new elements and inject their kind of like base form into it. We like LL's like that, but probably the most kind of notorious like distillation of that is like Drake is had the ability to take sounds from other places and keep on changing and growing over his career. Jay-Z also. Jay-Z got into his kind of pop register and he kept on finding ways to kind of get with new artists, get with new producers, change the sound, keep moving.
Met up with my comment.
And then eventually it gets to a point though where it's like, all right, we had the American Gangster album, and that's you doing, you know, the cosplay of what you were doing in the early 90s. It sounds good, that's what we like, but how much more of that can we take? We don't want to hear about your Basquiat collection. So then he gives us 444. And that actually, 444 is an album. It's a mature album. It talks about a lot of things that in a more serious light than he's ever discussed anything in his career, other than like getting bitches, having money, and doing well with making money. And when you have an artist like Ghostface, who doesn't ever aspire to be that introspective and have those moments anymore, it just doesn't work. He has one of the most introspective and heartfelt songs of all time in hip hop. All That I Got Is You made grown men cry, but he can't do that anymore because it's been fucking 30 years since he's ever been fucking. It was the last shit he did, like Punk Action Bronson. I don't know, like it's Martin Shkreli. It's like nobody cares.
In defense of Ghostface, he did have some tracks I liked. And those were the ones where he was looking inwards a bit more, or he was like actually analyzing like the type of shit he used to be on. So what tracks are those? Those the track
Bring
Love
up
Me
the bars
that has Nas. Oh, you want to hear a bar? He said, "If Jesus walks with Kanye, then I'll follow." I don't know what. I don't know. Like, does he want to be a Nazi next? Maybe.
I don't even know what dude, that was such a. When Mega said bring up a bar, the amount of things I expected, none of them mentioned Jesus and none of them mentioned Kanye. I'm just gonna put that out there.
But yeah, the better tracks are the ones where he's like looking inwards. He has a track talking about his friend that he lost. I can appreciate those, but they started to lose me in the sense that they're like sandwiched in between tracks that say nothing. They come out of nowhere. They almost feel like obligatory in a way.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry.
Yeah,
this is probably the last thing I'll say about this, but like that inwards thing is kind of the thing that I'm looking for from these newer, from these older rappers, kind of bringing in their new stuff. Like on my favorite song on the new Clips is the one where they very explicitly talk about the loss of their father. LL Cool J, he's talking about some real like relationship issues on his album. The Black Thought, he's still staying amazing because he's got songs like Weather off of the El Michaels record that really in detail go over how his past was, you know what I mean? And I think those are kind of those are the tracks I'm wanting from these artists, because it reaches a point where you just saying the thing you say, there's so many places that can go for that, you know what I mean? If you can't evolve and have something new to get across to someone, I feel like that kind of it has a shelf life.
Yeah, and to that point, when it comes to Nas, like I'm not head over heels about any of the Hit Boy joints, but what I could appreciate while that run was going on, he was reflecting on his career, and he was bringing up like shit from his career, how they came about, telling the listener like how they happened, how he felt at the time. And while I might not love the music itself, I could appreciate that from him.
Yeah,
I can't appreciate it as much when it feels like you just want to give me something, just want to give me something to say. You put it out for you to be celebrated, for you to get a sale, make it on the charts possibly. I don't. That's when it kind of starts to lose me.
Yeah, cool. Any last thoughts, Mega?
You know, I know I'm hating on Ghostface a lot. I love Ghost. Ghost is one of my all-time favorites. I think that, you know, I don't mind that what he's doing, but the primary thing that pushed me away is that I don't think that he has like the fly slang language that he used to have, and I also think that I'm a little bit tired of some of the antisocial tropes that he still maintains as a grown-ass man. And I do that with a lot of music. Like, I'm just not into it. So plenty much love to Ghostface. You know, I would tell him that I'm a huge fan, but he's also not a person that I'd want to have hang out with all day.
Fair enough. Okay,
even if given the opportunity. Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so on to our last topic. Mega, serve it up, man. What do you have to say?
I guess it's kind of I'm not exactly sure how to pull this up, but it was something that I recognized. As you know, all of us are deeply connected with this kind of really organic ecosphere of underground rap, which includes a plethora of amazing and talented white artists. But one thing that I noticed about like a lot of the white artists in our space, whether they're working with black producers, not like Child Actor, most of them, a lot of them, you listen to a Nah Really album, you listen to Jesse the Tree, you listen to Andrew, you listen to even Zilla to a degree, Zilla Rocka, fucking Alaska, any of these guys, most of most, even Aesop Rock, most of them are not pulling from kind of like the Black American songbook. They don't sample the jazz as much. They don't sample the soul, the gospel, the funk. They usually pull from these psychedelic rock records, some of the other type of rock records, some of the folky records. And it was very interesting. Yeah, electronic is very interesting to me how that kind of works. And I was wondering if you guys kind of noticed the same thing. And I just kind of feel like I haven't really heard anybody discuss the fact that like Child Actor doesn't sound like a black hip hop producer per se, but here he is. He's on the Earl. Yeah. Here he is on so many open mic Eagle, Service Merchandise. It has a very distinct sound, and I actually don't know if Child Actor is a black person or a white person. I just assume that was a white person because it lacks that. The last Aesop Rock album, I was kind of happy about it because it did have some of these kind of more from the breaks, that b-boy break, that funky 19, like that element. And I'm just curious, like, there's so many white artists in our community. Are they afraid to use it? Is it the reason that Eminem doesn't sample black music? Is it why all his shit sounds like some weird fucking Candyland, fucking wonky? I don't even know if that's music. Like, what's going on?
I really do hear what you're saying as well, because when you brought that up, I was listening to the old album with kind of that idea in mind, and it's like the closer on the album. As soon as I heard that, I was like, this song is so black. I checked who's produced it, Navy Blue. You know what I mean? There's a Navy Blue has consistently. I mean, I don't know the Black American songbook. I'm not familiar with that as a term. But like,
I just mean like music that traditionally comes from those black epicenters. Soul, funk. I was that ain't created by fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say like Navy Blue through his whole career of producing, even the stuff he made for Wiki. I would say like that is a clear, consistent part of his art. Has been taking from those sounds and the sounds that have informed where his culture is currently, making its way into his art. And I think it's interesting, like white producers to hear the idea of like white producers kind of not coming from the same cultural background, and then also not including that cultural background into their art. Because in a sense, I sample soul and jazz when I make my beats because that's the music I'm listening to. You know what I mean? Maybe it's these hip hop artists who are white, who don't come from that background musically. They're not listening to that music. They're then going on and kind of they're listening to hip hop, and they're listening to this other stuff that they're sampling, like the folk and the electronic and the psychedelic stuff that you're kind of bringing up. I would think the people who aren't sampling the jazz and the soul and the funk are just not listening to the jazz and the soul and the funk. So that's not the stuff that ends up appearing in their art. But in a similar way, if you ask Open Mike Eagle his influences and what first got him into music, I remember he said like it's like he said in the interview with Cinema Psy, it's like Nirvana. You know what I mean? He's getting into rap at the same time as Nirvana and grunge was coming out. And as the kind of grunge scene dipped, then he went just into hip hop. But you see the root there isn't in the Black American songbook that you're describing.
He's Open Mike Eagle in particular has always had his foot into kind of the indie scene. He was one of the more outspoken black artists who were down to rock with Anticon and Y and Getty eventually went on to Anticon, and Getty also as a black man works with people like Deerhoof and some guys like Bus Driver do too. But I was starting to think of it as like, one of the more important things you hear the argument all the time, like from some types like a Lord Jamar, who's like, hip hop's a black house, white people are guests in the black house and shit like that. I grew up as a 4-element kid in California. It was black as fuck in my neighborhood, but it was also Mexican as fuck, Samoans, mixed race people of all sorts. And the primary thing with it is that as long as you came original and as you came authentic as yourself, you were good. So if you were a white kid out there, you didn't try to be black. You just did hip hop in your whiteness. You made, if you grew up listening to Led Zeppelin, you sampled the Led Zeppelin shit. You know what I mean? You don't go out of your way to pull Sly Stone and shit. And so I was finding like, it's amazing to me when I listen to a lot of these artists, like artists that I love, everybody I mentioned, Andrew and Jesse the Tree, and Not Really, like I really love these guys. But I also noticed that like a lot of my black homies, like my nephew, who is, you know, he don't fuck with white shit a lot, so to speak. You don't listen to no Nirvana, he's just a black kid, and a black man, I should say. And he don't fuck with a lot of that sonic palette. And I'm just like, but if you just listen, it's so much better than that Ghostface shit. It's so much better than that LL Cool J shit. You just can't get past the fact that it's sampling fucking, like Dr. Hook. I don't fucking know. But
I think, cause I was trying to, cause when you
get super black on the straight, be like, yeah, these white people, they, you know what I mean? They better not touch the black samples. Sick and tired of this cultural appropriation shit.
That's half my take and half not. So when you were talking about this, when the topic was brought up, I was having trouble thinking like what you specifically meant by that. But as you listed off examples, I realized that that's part of the reason I'm experiencing more of a disconnect with like more recent Aesop music, and why I go back to this older shit, because the older shit still like has that Black American tradition, as you said, in the beats and stuff like that. So I'm of two minds that like sometimes it might not always be for me, but also I can kind of appreciate, because I feel like in our circle, I feel like the first instinct for white people who might not be like fully authentic with their work, but all they know is they want to rap. I feel like the first instinct is to try to appeal to like some sort of black sensibility musically, or how they present or how they speak. And I feel like when it comes to artists, like when it comes to Andrew, for example, I don't feel like Andrew's trying to do that, and I can appreciate him from that. And so I can like enjoy his music as its own separate thing and get something from him that like I might not get from other artists.
I love Elusis or something like that.
Yeah. Something like that. So I was interested in how you perceived it. Do you perceive it more as like a negative thing, or like it's just how it is?
I love it. I feel like, especially when you have like a producer, beat maker person like an Andrew, right? Andrew, to me, like when you produce your own shit and you rap on your own shit and you make your own shit, that's kind of like as close as you can get to being like, here's my open diary of my complete art. Like, this is what it is. I'm not working with anything. This is the sounds that I feel. This is how I connected it. So I always see it as a net positive. I understand why my homies don't care for Aesop, because there's a lot of guitar stems in there. There's a lot less boom bap to that sometimes. There's more of a 3/5 type of rock aesthetic. I mean, his name is Aesop fucking Rock. And so like, like I get that. And I go to other black artists like Earl for my super black shit, and I perceive it as a positive. I prefer a white artist to not just to be themselves, and there's nothing more like being yourself than you not following tropes. Like we have so many black artists who follow tropes, and old artists who try to pick up and follow the tropes too. When I listen to name any white artists within our space, I'm just like, that's fucking crazy. The shit that Sun Mundi did, you know what I mean, with Sasko, like that is I don't even know. That's not the Black American songbook at all. That shit is wildly fucking different, But also, But also, we also have like these artists who are recapturing and changing the tropes. Like Elucid is making music that is black as fuck with things that are not tropey within black culture, and not necessarily from that same primarily well-known Black American songbook. So it's amazing to me, man. I've never been a person that thought that black, like hip hop culture, was a black only culture, even though like I could have stood on that as a half black kid. But like to me, it was just like be yourself, be authentic, and be dope and participate in the culture. I don't give a fuck about fans. If you're doing something in hip hop culture, then you hip hop with me, and don't transgress, because still a lot of black folks is the ones that put you down to this shit. So you know what I mean? Like, don't and none of the like it is like, I don't know. Is Kenny Siegel white?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was something I was gonna bring up. Is to me, like hiding places. And I'm not. This is a hot take of mine. I'm not too hot on that album. I don't love that album, and a lot of the reason is those kind of white sounds, those like the rock aesthetics and stuff like that that the album kind of throws in. That one track that has like a whole like actual just dubstep horns in it, and that's like, those aren't my sounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
also, go on. My bad. Go on.
When listening to that, I wasn't really into it. But then in the same sentence, like Purple Moonlight Pages, Kenny Siegel, the Jefferson Park Boys. You know what I mean? Like that takes a lot of sounds that I love. So it's not necessarily that Kenny Siegel's whiteness is like the problem of the art he makes. He as a white man takes from what he's listening to. He's got Soft Landing on the same album as Blue Smoke on Maps. You know what I'm saying? So like those are the jazz and the rock is an authentic part of him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even within those being part of the Black American Songbook, Kenny Siegel is both of those things and can make both of those things.
Yeah, now I think the authenticity, like both of you said, that's what allows him to do things like that. And I was thinking about that in terms of Elucid, who Mega brought up. Elucid makes extremely black music, and that's some of my favorite shit. But I also love his stuff like Interference Pattern. And while I'm listening to this project, I'm like, this is technically a noise album, and a lot of like a lot of that shit is just noise. And I'm like, I would never like go out of my way to listen to noise, but right now, Elucid has me listening to fucking noise music.
I can send you some noise recs, Trey. So
you might have to.
Change that.
but I was thinking about how cool that was, and that just speaks to like how much shit he's into. He's working with like indie bands and shit, remixing their shit. I find that dope.
Yeah, and like Revelator as well. There's so many sounds on there that I don't love the album, but there's so much like experimentation on there with sounds that I think if you're going to be like, oh, these are white sounds, you would put more place to on the white side of the spectrum. But
like the one thing I appreciate about Eminem, like, you know, outside of him just like being pretty good at putting words together, whether they say something dope to me or not, he's good at it. It's like after he stopped rocking the do-rag, I had a little bit more respect for him, because his music it doesn't sound like black hip-hop at all. And he really could have just been like, I'm going to make rap music. Like, I don't even know how to describe his shit. It sounds like a weird carnival to me. His beats are terrible, but I'm also just like, thank you for not sampling, I don't know, fucking Rick James. You know what I mean? Like, you know, stay away.
That's a good point. Sometimes artists get a little black artists get a little too black, man. Fucking Kanye West sampling Strange Fruit on Blood on the Leaves. Fuck all that. Fuck everything about that. You know what I mean? There's not a single reason he should have been doing that. And the only reason he thinks it's okay is because he's a black man. If Child Actor sampled Strange Fruit, you're not hearing the end of it.
We really got to give more shout outs to our white allies for with all the big goofy shit.
Nah, bro, it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. Don't do it.
Yeah. As soon as we do got folks in. Yeah.
You don't. You actually don't.
Yeah, but you know, like a lot of them, I understand that they don't understand the shit. You know, they don't. They just like, you a fan. You don't really come. Yeah, I don't know. Stick to that fucking circus music or whatever the fuck y'all making.
Cool. Hey, any closing thoughts on that? Or is that
let's do it. Let's. Before we get out of here, let's do like a checks and recs, like checks and recommendations. Give one thing that you're doing, you're listening to, you're reading, you're watching, or something that you've been fucking with, and then that's like 3 again. So anybody got something to...
All right. I think I'll go first with that then.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I've been listening to. Hey, self plug. I've been non-stop listening to my own music recently. I can't lie, because I've got a project coming out. Okay. September 12th, Excerpts of Black Joy Volume 1 by Kosey on all platforms. You'll be seeing that. You'll be seeing that. Hopefully a music video around the same time as well. In terms of what I've been reading, I recently picked up this book called Griots and Griots, which is a book basically about the African tradition of traveling musicians. It's fantastic so far. I forget the author's name. It is a white man, so I take it with a grain of salt. But I'm enjoying it a lot. I've been doing a lot of research into that, kind of following what I'm coming to my dissertation in uni. So that stuff is what I'm researching and reading right now, and I'm finding it very. I'm quite early into the book, but it's very interesting and building on a lot of the knowledge I already had for reading The Healing Drum by Yaya Diallo. What was the other thing? What I'm listening to, what I'm reading, and what I don't watch things. So those are 2 rates to get.
I don't watch shit. I just look inside.
I guess YouTube. Sometimes I've been watching this really dumb podcast called HLGF. I think. It's just these 2 people. They sit in like a video game and they just talk nonsense to each other. So if that's what you're after, there you go. But I think it might be actually GLHF. I don't know what it stands for. Check it out. Maybe. I don't know. What are you thinking, Mega?
Work. I kind of, I recommended it, and then I didn't really have anything, but I do have some stuff on my table since I'm in my studio. I'm going to recommend this graphic novel, this comic book that I got. It's called Crime Guys, and Crime Guys is it's a well, I mean, I don't know. I ordered this off of the internet. It's a graphic novel written by a graffiti artist named Vince Vert, and it's basically about 2 guys who are writing graffiti in Oakland, and there's these fucking robots. The pigs try to fucking bust them down, but it's a graffiti artist comic book made by graffiti artists and for graffiti artists, and somebody that actually understands the nuances of the culture. I haven't finished it yet, but it's fucking great. Support independent underground art, support hip hop shit. So like, re-up on your 4-element work, man. Like, graffiti is the most radical of all the elements still remaining. It's still completely illegal. And if you look around this bitch, all they got is paid advertisements bombarding you day after day. You're always in a non-place that is not for culture. It's always just for purchasing shit. So start putting some culture down by writing your name, even if your hand style's fucking whack. Bomb some shit. Not the mom and pop shops, but everything municipal, anything corporate, fucking bomb it. Yeah. So yeah, Crime Guys versus the Block Bots by Vince Vert out of Oakland. Shout out.
I fuck with that. What I'm listening to. What am I listening to? I'm a cheat. I haven't heard it yet, but the Nakama album that just came out, Everything Burns, that is factually going to be good. There is no universe where it's not good. But also something I'm actually listening to, the Teller Banks, QNO rap name, Phil Spector, Killer Kane, I think it is. That project's hard as fuck. Teller's rapping crazy. Love that shit. Kind
of similar things to the Earl album I was saying, with like, it's so kinetic. It doesn't leave time for you to get bored. Like, it just goes. Fantastic. And
tracks on that are also short. Which
that Nakama is crazy. We've had that for a whole minute.
All right, we might have to talk about that next.
On the Nakama album, I had to pause it and walk around my room before sitting back down and listening to that shit. Unbelievable.
He's next. He's amazing.
I'm excited.
Amazing. Crazy. Amazing. I bought it mid-listen.
What have I been reading?
Oh, you be reading?
I know you can't read.
You been reading? Oh,
no, I do read. I read the greatest series of all time. It's called One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. He's been cooking. This flashback is crazy.
I'm not going to hate on it. I heard it's pretty radical.
Honestly, it is, man.
It's the greatest epic of all time. Tap in. All 1,000+ chapters. What have I?
That's why I can't get into it. Bro. Like, I've watched like 50 episodes, and I'm just like, I got 1,000 more. I just can't do it.
No, you don't watch the anime.
It just seems too time consuming, man.
It seems too. You gotta read it.
You gotta read it.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I could probably
you know books and shit, man.
Well, you know, I read like, you know, I'm not only reading nonfiction shit. I read comic books still. I'm tapped into comic books every month.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, word as well. Another thing I recommend. I've recently Yuri don't put me on to the Absolute Batman. Crazy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so great. It's so great.
I'm like three issues behind.
Yeah.
Black
Yeah,
man.
I'm like 3 episodes behind. No, he's
I
dope in
literally
it.
just
Like
caught
he's
up.
not a
I just
rich
caught
kid. He's like a fucking construction worker. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
he be getting the
I
shit beaten out of him too.
Yeah,
It's
Absolute
crazy.
Batman, Absolute Superman is good. Ultimate Spider-Man. I read comic books. That's how I get away from the theory.
Shit.
Yeah, that's how I get away from my theory, because I'm not only fucking nerding out and fucking twisting my mustache how to diss whack liberals and shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm also reading the comic books.
But you got to
One
consider,
Piece,
man, it's funnier if I portray you that way so I can then make fun of you.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
that. Like everybody assumes you're smarter than them, which you probably are. So like you can rep that.
Yeah.
I definitely understand, because I've been trying to frame things that Trey doesn't actually have any friends. That's how I've been trying to frame it. He has no friends.
Talk about anyone other than people on the internet.
True.
I'm just gonna put that out there. I've never.
It was never like,
I don't know anyone in real life.
Yeah.
Has Trey met any of his family? Like, I feel like Trey lives.
Nah, that's how my family acts like they don't see me at all.
Okay, he's in a fucking basement in Atlanta right now. Just fucking
he leaves the
mainlining Twitter.
He walks around with a mask on and shit, like a whole fucking. No one knows who that guy is. He don't know no one. Crazy.
It's like it's some wild black agoraphobia. His mom sneaks down in the middle of the night to fucking lock up his locks a little bit while he's sleeping and shit. Yeah.
It's the night shift lifestyle.
Yeah, man. No, that's real. That's real. It's needed.
If I could toss a little tea, man. Yo, I heard so much fucking gossip and crazy stories from my last link. Yo, about people that I love within the community too. But there was a couple of like 2 white boys who I heard mad transgressions about.
Damn.
And I heard mad trans. How you know? I didn't say that, Kosey. I didn't say shit. How she know that shit? Like, but yeah, I heard mad transgression. It hurt my feelings, because I don't be on the gossip, and I really had to ask about some shit. Like, like me, if I'm rocking with the person, I'll say anything. Like, what are you gonna do? Get mad at me? Come on, like, figure it out. But I heard mad transgressions, and it hurt my heart. And I decided then and there, I don't want to know nothing about artists that I listen to ever again.
Doing that. I agree.
I don't want to know.
I've stopped looking into people, bro, because I can't ruin that shit for myself, bro.
Nothing.
I only follow artists on Twitter now, not on Twitter, on Instagram, because Instagram they'll just post their music and then disappear. Twitter, I have to hear their thoughts. Horrible. I just want to know when you drop in. God. Leave me alone.
Bro, the shit that Mandisi been sending me about my modern goat. I'm like, yo, it's a different type of time. I don't need to see tweets. Oh my god! Like, I don't care.
He made C-Day, please.
Oh my god, I don't care. Like, leave me alone.
No, Cavs are different. Cavs different, man. You just got.
He's hilarious, but
he's that's his like body shit, man. He's in that go face.
People's people, man. I'm telling you, like, a lot of people just outside. It's a different type of mentality. Like, I appreciate it, but I just don't want to. I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
No. Yeah, I feel like that's a good way to go about it, man. Get off the socials, go outside. See live jazz events near you and meet the rappers who are going up there and doing random freestyles and shit. That's what you need. Don't know any of these online niggas.
I ain't gonna do shit. I'm just stay in my little basement and wake up with my hair twisted up nice.
Yeah. And TreDoes, he's just gonna wake up in the middle of the night, go to work, see no people, come home, go sleep, man. You don't need to know nobody.
I got a tweet before I go to sleep.
Oh yeah, you get your one tweet out. You get your...
I find it amazing how successful Trey is on fucking Twitter.
It's so
like,
funny, bro.
Jet knew about him before I told him. Like, yo, this is one cat in rap music production. I was like, yeah, his name is Trey. You talking about I will? He was like, you talking about I will kill you, nigga? It's like, yeah, I know. Okay. Oh my god, damn.
Hey, I had to grind for this view. 365 days of review.
Now that Fantano know about you and shit, you gotta make sure.
Y'all can see me on there too.
Yeah, we ran for the world. The I Will Kill You World Tour, bro. That's gonna change lives. That's gonna change
before
lives.
we close, I gotta give us props. I'm in bumfuck Georgia. Kosey's in England. Fucking Mega in Japan. We making this shit work against all odds. You making this shit work against all odds.
Yo, you guys don't even know that the niggonometry, the trigonometry that we had to put together with the time zones. I was just like, bro, yeah, it was crazy.
The math's on display, bro. Yeah. We did the knowledge. You niggas ain't no
A squared plus B squared. We had all the fucking the sacred geometry. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's cut it off. We're out. Yeah. Thank you.
We're out. And appreciate you guys listening. Peace. We've been what's up with the minutes. I'll see you later. Peace.
I'm gonna try to introduce some new names like Universal Black Ink Blot. You know what I mean? UPI. We're calling some new shit.
Yeah. UPI? Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah, UPI, like Universal Black Ink Blot.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Nah, okay. I mean, we'll think about it. Everything's happening. It's all happening.
We could just change name every episode. You know?
Yeah, true. That's good. Yeah, we could do anything we want, man. This is America. Kinda.
So true. This is America. We're
this is America.
I was talking about. Yeah, we're gonna be called the Donald Glover fucking fan support page. Yeah,
that's the next podcast.
I mean,